feeling for Rotherham United.
What's got round the back? And Richie Wood has done it again. It's done. It's Georgie Kelly.
Do me a favour, drop me off in Rotherham.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast, and it's a win, a home win, a convincing win. Not convincing, but a good win, nevertheless, to put us firmly back in the fight for survival against Plymouth Argyle. But we have another game to talk about. We have to back it up on Tuesday with what I assume will be another tough game with Mansfield Town coming to Tuesday. It's another big week for Rotherham United, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Mick. Talk about the win on a Sunday evening. This is unusual.
I don't know what to say, mate. I'm lost, to be honest. I'm a bit lost for words, which is pretty unusual for me, I guess. But yeah.
Great, isn't it? Podcast. It is really, really good. Scott's back with us as well. How are you going, Scott?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you.
Smiles all around on you, Steve, as well. Are you with us? How are you doing, mate?
I'm all right. So I'm in Vic's group with this. I've got a clue what to say now. We'll find something to say.
We'll get there. Thank you all for being with us. Martin Holland's with us. He says, good evening, fantastic game. YouTuber says, good evening, another way on Tuesday, please. Martin Holland says, good evening, fantastic game. Paul Rose says, evening, everybody. Talking of DNA, no doubt, the ref is Trevor Castle's son. Surprised his biro didn't run out. Sarah's with us, as is Jason Wick. Sarah says, Seth is with us as well. Connor Simpson, Noel Jordan, Chris Tether, Nick Newsom, loads of people with us. Dimenco says, evening, guys. Where did that performance come from? We've all been waiting for. P.S. Asking for a friend. Where was the instant reaction from Tony Stewart's home or Roundwood? We did it outside the stadium again. We found when we did the one for Donny, I just wanted to do it out of the way of Donny fans. I thought it was quite good with the river in the background. We're far enough away not to see how dirty the river is, which is good. But yeah, we're good. I enjoyed it. Rob Dixon says, please, can we remain level-headed tonight? Was it better? Yes. Was it good? No. Plymouth were abysmal and offered nothing. First goals are key, with those fixtures are not great after Tuesday. I'll start with you, Steve, on that one. I agree with the first part of Rob's part, level-headedness, which we'll come on to maybe later on. But I thought we were good yesterday. We weren't spectacular, but I thought we were comfortably a better team and should have run out maybe 3 or 4-0 winners.
Absolutely. I think, we showed what I've been moaning about for quite a long time. We showed energy yesterday. I thought the ratting in the midfield was fantastic. And frankly, I've not really been that much of a fan of Drew Yearwood. But yesterday, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. We didn't give Plymouth a chance in the first half to get going. I mean, I know they had a couple of scrambles, but I thought I agree with Rob to a certain extent. Let's not get too over ourselves because it wasn't a fantastic performance. It just made a change from the lackluster nonsense dirge that we've been looking at for the last 3 or 4 weeks. It was a game that was watchable and exciting, and we moved the ball. We had one-on-ones. We had the ball was going down the flanks. It was going through midfield. So everything that I've been wanting to see, I saw. It wasn't perfect, but I really enjoyed it, and we won. So ticking a box for that. Move on to Tuesday. I'm not trying not to get too excited because Mansfield are a good side, and we don't generally like playing them. But now's the time to put that aside and get another 3 points, frankly. So we did well.
We did, and that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask for us. Nick says, I thought it was a great game overall. It was so enjoyable to watch end-to-end in the second half. Yeah, that's what kind of struck me, Scott, to be honest with you. Yeah, we'll talk about the specifics of it, but I just enjoyed the game of football, which we don't often do. It helps when you win, and I get that. But certainly the first time, it was a good game of football. 2 teams trying to win, both teams trying to be positive. It was a pretty good advert for League One, I thought, yesterday.
No, definitely. I must admit, I took my youngest for the first time. He's only just turned 5, so we left at just after half time. So I watched the last 15 minutes on TV, and then I've been sad and watched the second half back, which is a lot easier to watch when you know the result. But the first half, obviously being in the stadium, I thought we were really good value for the win. Bar a couple of really good blocks from Benson and Yearwood, I think it was.
Rafferty got one as well.
Yeah, I thought that were the kind of, when people speak about the Rotherham DNA, I think that kind of was it. We were pressing, but it was a clever press. It weren't just Nombe running on his own. There were people backing him up, and we were kind of as a team, weren't we? Definitely good value for 1-0 at half time, and I think we should have been a couple, 2 or 3 up, to be fair, in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally says, let's not carried away. I remember Exeter with a great result, but let's see if we can add more consistency and play well. I actually think, mate, and this sounds weird, that was a better performance than the Exeter game. The Exeter game, it just all happened very quickly. It wasn't really a 4-0 game, the Exeter game. It was maybe a 1-0 game, maybe a 2-0 game. Yesterday was kind of the opposite. It was absolutely a 3 or 4-0 game. Plymouth had a chance or two, but they were quite few and far between, although they were trying to be positive. This, for me, was a better performance than the Northampton and Exeter win.
Listen, mate, I'm reading comments. I'm going to give Rob and Tom a poke here. That DNA is back, mate. Let me tell you, it's back. We are back. There's enough points. We're going to be challenging them playoffs by the end of the season. Game on. It's game on now. I'm telling you.
Oh, dear.
Oh, good dear.
What were question?
It were good.
Yeah, it was. It was a decent performance. I echo what everybody else has said, to be fair. There were huge signs of improvement. I think I kind of maybe sit away from the crowd from Bradford on Tuesday. I thought there was an improvement in the performance on Tuesday. We were still toothless. We were still, we didn't create anything, but the energy in the side on Tuesday, I felt, was better than it had been. But on Saturday, they doubled down on that, and it was a lot better. And we were the better side, I think, the vast majority of the game. Obviously, we came under some pressure, but really, did Plymouth offer a great deal? I don't think they did. And like you said, that should have been a 3-0, quite frankly. We should be taking a couple of chances that should have been taken.
Yeah, the keeper's also pulled off a couple of good saves as well, to be fair to add into it as well. Keeper's done okay as well. Let's kind of go back to it. And the kind of the setup, Steve, before we dive into this, we're sticking with this 4. It was a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, whatever you want to call it. But it seems to be gradually improving. First half against Donny was really, really good. Like Mick says, it probably was marginally better overall against Bradford. And yesterday, it seems like the team's growing into this system maybe a little bit. Well, only having 2 kind of specialist midfielders is a step away from what Amshire was doing. But with Yearwood's energy and everything else that came with it, it really suited us yesterday.
Yeah, you know me and tactics and that sort of thing. It's not my bag really, but yeah, I could see the width yesterday, and you're right. To play what he was playing, you do need those 2 guys in midfield to be energetic. And I mean, you look at Benson yesterday for the time he was on the pitch. I mean, the guy's actually a really good player. Yeah. And again, he's another one that wouldn't be playing for us if he was 100% fit, and people could guarantee that he'd stay fit. He's with us because he's had injuries, but he makes a huge difference. I mean, it's like Watmore. I mean, crikey, that little delicious flick round the corner to send Nombe away in the first half. I'm thinking, crikey, and it's a shame that Sam couldn't finish it off. But yeah, the formation as it is seems to suit us a lot better. It gives us a bit more width, I think. And I did actually, I mean, I listened to the aftermatch yesterday, and you and Mick weren't too fond of the 2 fullbacks. Well, I thought one of them particularly had a very good game, and that was Reece James.
Yeah. Did we call Reece James out?
Yeah,
I think I said I wasn't impressed with either fullback. Maybe I was harsh on James.
His mate, Joe Powell, was doing the co-coms. And he gave him man of the match.
Okay.
So, not because he was his mate, but I mean, he was still pounding up and down that left-hand side in the 94th minute, wasn't he? I mean, it did help that Plymouth were playing about 7 up front, and you know, we're always good for a bit of a breakaway. But yeah, I think he needs to keep playing what he's playing. That's giving us that energy, because he does give us energy. I know he had a cheeky 3-5-2 attempt later on in the game, and when I heard that, I thought, oh, I better keep an eye on this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll maybe take back what I said about James yesterday. I don't take back what I said about Rafferty. I stand by that, and we'll maybe come on to it. But I was probably harsh on James, to be fair. 'Cause I thought second half, thinking back now, I thought second half James was really effective. But anyway, just on the players, we have a comment by saying Benson and Watmore have changed us from Nick there, Scott. And they really have. Watmore's been brilliant. He is obviously a class above the rest of this football team and most of this football team. The worry is, and to take a bit of a shine off, that they are crucial. They are also both really, really injury prone. So we've got to kind of make hay while the sun shines with those two. Whenever they're fit and available, to make sure we get these points on the board, because if one or both of those suddenly become missing again, a lot of that creativity from yesterday kind of disappears, because they were doing everything from making things.
Yeah, they do look really good, don't they? And like Steve said, and plenty of people have said, they both wouldn't be with us if they were. Well, if Watmore were a bit younger and Benson could stay fit. I've been really impressed with Benson, because I think, he's not really played as much as obviously we would want this season, but I seem to think at the beginning of season, it was kind of more off the left who were playing him. Obviously, because of needs must now, he's been playing centrally, which maybe, I don't even know if that's his preferred position, but I've been really impressed with him, because he's not only is he really good on the ball technically, he's not scared to get a challenge in and do the bit of the dirty side, which have really surprised me. But yeah, I think it is key to kind of keep them two fit. But it is good. It was quite a nice change to see. Obviously, he brought them both off, because I think he said Watmore's legs had gone. But you bring it on Go and McWilliams like that. A couple of weeks ago, you're taking off. Well, you're making subs and the quality is just coming straight down. Whereas this is that, can we keep a squad fit? That's the big thing. Because I mean, if we can, we won't go down with this squad. But I've been saying that all season. This squad, if fit, is not where it should be. But you've got to play with what you've got, haven't you? So it is going to be a juggling act for I'm sure. He's going to have to kind of keep an eye on the fitness and the risk of injury. But as the games keep ticking down and needs must, he's got to kind of weigh that up, hasn't he?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Let's have a couple of minutes on Josh Benson, Mick, because with injuries, he's been hit and miss. But even when he's been fit, the period before his last injury, he played, but he kind of just floated in and out of games. He had a moment or two of quality, but he never really impacted it too much, unless a free kick in a dangerous area. Since he's come back this time, everything good we do seems to go to Josh Benson. Even against Bradford, where we weren't very good, the only bit of quality in the entire game was when Josh Benson was getting involved. So I wonder if this change in setup and whatever he's done with it seems to be suiting Josh Benson a lot better than the previous formation was, because he is central to everything at the minute.
Whatever formation we played, he's influential in the game. If it's a 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, whatever, or 4-3-3, or even a 4-4-2, he is the influence. He's a game changer. And like everybody else has said, he's a championship footballer. There's no question about that in my mind. He's a championship quality footballer, but he's not going to get there with his injury record as it stands. It's a massive addition to the squad. And just a little word on Duncan Watmore. I wasn't sure, because I think I probably bought into some of the garbage that you read on social media about, is this, is that, we're last choice and all that nonsense. Rightly so. Watching him play, rightly so, we were the last choice. There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever, because he should be playing in the Championship. he is the ultimate professional for me. I mean, he clearly bought into what's happening. Absolutely clearly, he's all in. You know, he's not come to Rotherham United just to mark time. He is all in. And I watched him closely yesterday, and he was literally coaching Harry Gray throughout the game whilst he was on the pitch. You know, he was constantly talking to him, constantly talking about his position and where and his runs and everything else. Hugely impressed with Duncan Watmore, and more so arguably than Benson. You know, I think he's if we can keep him fit, he will be key to the rest of this season, without a doubt. But it's the main thing for me is just how he's bought into it and the passion he shows, and I think
you've just got to listen to that 10-minute press at the end of the presser on Thursday, was it?
Yeah.
When he's interviewed after Amshore. I don't know whether you've heard it, but he's so impressive. And quite a lot of what you said there, Mick, he explains on that particular interview. I mean, when you see he was asked whether he wants to be a football manager like Rafferty had been asked the week before. And he basically said, no way, I've done a degree, I've got other things that I'm going to do. But whilst he's here, his objective is to do his best for us and to get us out this rubbish that we're in. And I think you mentioned about young players. So it's well worth a little listen. It's only 10 minutes.
Give it a listen, yeah.
Yeah.
Massively impressive.
Very, very impressive guy.
Frankly.
Yeah. We're all doing what all football fans do, is when you get somebody on a temporary basis, we keep him. Think he'll stay? I think if he stays fit and continues playing at the level he's playing at, I don't think there's any way he stays unless our budget significantly increases for next season, which again feels unlikely. But I don't know. We would all love to see Duncan Watmore stay as long as he stays fit. Really impressed with him so far. Same with Benson, if he can stay fit. And
it says a lot about what's happening down at Fowlerton and all, doesn't it? That they picked anybody else above him.
I know.
They clearly didn't want to stay up, did they?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they wanted Liam Cooper, didn't they? And he's now somewhat twanged in his leg, and he's done for the season. So, unlucky. Yeah.
Lovely bit of humble pie for me to eat, because I was one of those people that was questioning Watmore coming in because of what was done previously. Very, very happy to report I was wrong.
Same here as well. So, I'll be eating the same humble pie.
Best kind. It's the very best kind of humble pie. We score, I can't remember the time, Steve, but we score midway through the first half.
6 minutes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrong. My time, I was hungover yesterday. Forgive me. It was, at the time, it looked scrappy, and I said in the instant reaction, having not watched it back, it was lucky. I take that back a little bit, because it's a purposeful touch from Joe Rafferty. There's still an element of luck, because he could have got a lot more on it, a lot less on it. But that is a pretty good goal, pretty good reaction from a right back in an attacking area, and he celebrated like he meant it. Put it that way.
Well, he doesn't score dull goals, does he? For us, you remember it, Exeter, and can't remember the other one. Similar goal. I mean, again, Benson put it in the box, which caused them some problems, and it bounced out to Yearwood. I think Yearwood scuffed it a bit.
Yeah,
but it was only after they played the replay you realise he's got this little nick on him, Rafferty, and it was an intentional one. So for me, I thought it was an excellent touch for a right fullback, in the middle of the box, and it just took it, because it wouldn't have gone in. I don't think it might have just gone past the post. But he put it just where the keeper couldn't get it. And I didn't cheer or anything because I was surprised. I was just like, whoa, 1-0. And I was answering a text at that moment as well. But I just managed to say it. One day I'll go to the game. But yeah, I was heartily delighted. And then the way we played for the next 10 or 15 minutes, and we could have been 3 up. And I was just thinking... This is extraordinary. I've not seen this whole season.
Yeah. It was one of those that I half thought, it was obviously miles onside, but it's one of those you kind of think, well, it just looks a bit weird. Something's weird's happened now. You're just half expecting to get disallowed for some reason that we don't know. Nick says, I love Raf. I know some people don't, but I love his passion, his person out on the pitch. And if he's playing right back, he's great. Not great as a wing back, though. I agree with that one. It's not one of those because ultimately the other opportunities we're going to come on to, Scott, are really well-worked opportunities that were really well thought of and well-worked. This was just opportunistic, and he's taken the opportunity really, really well. But it is an opportunistic moment from Joe Rafferty that he's just seen something come towards him, tried his luck a little bit, and he's got it, and he deserves that the applause he gets for the goal.
Yeah, and it's all come from Yearwood who shot it which it went a great shot. I'm sure it went straight at keeper, but how many times have this season have I been wanting someone to just take a pop because stuff like this can happen. Maybe that's just kind of the confidence in the team a bit coming back because, like you said, last couple of games it's not been great, but it's been getting a bit better. Like I say, I don't know if you got a problem with Rafferty, Matt, or something. I thought it was a really good finish. I think he meant to do it.
At the time, I thought it was lucky because we're sitting, I'm sitting outside, sitting on my stand. I just thought it hit him.
To be fair, I thought it were. I've seen it obviously back now, but I'm sure we'll come on to the next chances. I thought it was Rafferty with the header that we'll get to. Where the keeper gets back up and so. For some reason, I thought that was Rafferty. But I mean, Rafferty must be in our top. Where is he on our goal scoring chart?
Scored three. Scored three.
Yeah. That's a great question.
I think Nombe's got about 5 or 6.
Yeah, Denzel Hall's got about 5 or 6, hasn't he? But obviously, that's a lot of that's in. Joe Rafferty is our joint second top scorer with 3. That's in the league, by the way. Obviously, Benson got 3 in the cup. John Miller says, "Well, evening, gents. Great when yesterday. He mentions Drew Yearwood was fantastic, which we'll absolutely come on to as well. David Lawton says, absolutely meant it. We're sat towards the away end, West Stand. Saw him touch it, spin round, and watch it go in. Tom Swift says, absolutely. Joe Rafferty did a superb last-ditch tackle, denying opposite goal scoring chance. Absolutely, he did. Let's just cover this because I feel like it was mentioned a lot in our comments yesterday, mate. Half of our comments were about me saying Joe Rafferty was rubbish. I don't think Joe Rafferty is rubbish. I think he's brilliant. I love Joe Rafferty. But, Mick, that first half, he were off it. I don't know if anybody remembers it. He belted one higher than the stadium and it came back down and landed in the middle of nowhere. And there were a couple of other things where he just nailed it straight out of play. He didn't have a great first half other than a goal for me. Or am I just massively out of touch with football?
My wife's written me an official apology that I've got to read out for my comments on the post-match about it being his worst game. Worst player on pitch, I think I said. Yeah, I got that wrong. I've got to stick my hand up. I got that wrong. Like you, there was a period in that first half where he completely lacked any composure and the ball went here, there and everywhere, rose head, up in air, out for a throw-in. However, he scored. He's kept us in the game with a couple of decent, really, really good blocks. So I take back what I said on the post-match. Okay. 100% I take it back. I love him to bits. And I did apologise to him.
Yeah.
I did say, sorry, Joe. I don't think he was man of the match. Not even close.
No, it
that's
wasn't.
That's the sponsors thing. Whoever scores gets man of the match, don't they? I love him. I like him a lot. He's another one that's committed to the cause. Mm-hmm. Captain, I don't think he's not a vocal leader on the pitch. Well, I said that. You see him screaming and shouting at players as well, don't you? It just doesn't exude that leadership for me. But yeah, he had a good game. And kept us in the. Well, he won us the game.
Well, he did. Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
So absolutely. It probably, arguably, should have been man at match.
Possibly, that's fair.
Going around in circles there.
I've done a full 360 from me post match. Worst player on bloody pitch. Oh no, man at match, mate.
He's the leader because we don't have any other leaders.
Yeah.
And, Watmore coming in, he's not vocal, but as you said, he was subtly doing it, wasn't he, on the pitch with young Harry? So yeah, we haven't got a Richard Wood in the middle of the defence, unfortunately. But Rafferty, as is shown when he's been interviewed, he's very much up for it, isn't he? And he's a bit of a lady scousey, like
yeah. I think what frustrates me about the only thing that really frustrates me about Rafferty is when we're crying out for composure, when we're crying out for someone to put a foot on the ball, he doesn't do it. He just launches it long quite a lot of time, and that's part of our problem as a football club at the minute is with no composure. And Rafferty is one of the main culprits for that. But yeah, worst. It might be the worst player on the pitch, but it was a good performance from Rotherham United. That's why. But anyway, moving on. As Scott alluded to a minute ago, Steve, there was a chance where you have to give their keeper an immense amount of credit. It pulls off a great save from Zach Jules to tip it onto the bar, and an even better one from Sam Nombe, which probably doesn't cross the line as well. It was, again, you've got to take your hat off sometimes, and that's just brilliant goalkeeping.
Yeah, unfortunate, isn't it? Because I thought that as soon as he hit it, Nombe hit it with his head. But that's in for me. And then suddenly he appears out of absolutely nowhere. It's interesting to look at it from behind the goal as well. Because of the angle that Nombe came at it, he couldn't get it into the opposite corner.
Yeah.
Because he dived between two defenders. I mean, it was a phenomenal save, frankly. He was there to be saved if he could get there, and he bloody got there. I mean, if you remember, he dived the other way, hadn't he? And then he was open across, which is what all goalkeepers try and do. And most of them are very good at that sort of thing. But it was a real shame that didn't go in, Frank, as it would have made it 2-0. And then, we could have had a third from Nombe a bit later on. But, what a save that was. And Jules, when Jules came on, I mean, it was a shame Manny had to go off and we don't know the extent of his injury yet, but Jules started to be a threat in their box.
Yes.
For 15 to 20 minutes, they couldn't handle him. So
yeah, it did. He can do that, Jules, can't he? That's the frustration with him and other players, that he can be a really effective player. And unlucky not obviously to get his goal. Are you happy that it wasn't over the line, Scott? There was no goal line technology, so we can't say for certain. Is it? What was your view on that?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it? I've paused it plenty of times, but there's just that one angle, ain't there? And you kind of go off players' reactions, and I think initially everyone close to it, arms are up celebrating, but then obviously play carries on, and I didn't really notice much arguing from our players, so I kind of presume by that it must not have been, but it must have been close. It looked over from the still, but obviously it's it's got to be all the ball and things like that. So I
think he saved it on the goal line.
Yeah.
So I think we're clutching at straws a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was one of those that it was so close. Even if it was margin of the line, I can accept it. If it was so close and such a difficult one for the line, fine. I'm happy with it. But the good thing about the first goal we scored was I thought Plymouth started marginally the better team, and there was a little bit of lack of composure from us. I was a little bit concerned, and the goal comes, and we just kind of settled us down a little bit. For the rest of the second half, we were the ones, maybe not bossing it, but certainly ones creating the chance we've mentioned there, and we were the ones almost dictating play. I thought in the first, I thought we reacted really, really well to our goal.
I think for the most part of the game, we dictated play. They had a period in the start of the second half where they came out, but we dealt with it. And then towards the back end of the game, they threw everything in kitchen sink at us. But again, we dealt with it reasonably well. There was still a little bit of panic at the back towards injury time and what have you. Excuse me. But for me, we were a better side. We were the better side and we deserved it. They didn't really. They created next to no, really. Let's be fair.
No, other than one offside goal and one offside chance, which wasn't offside, which was funny. Anyway, moving on.
Well, you said that. Do you want to deal with that now?
We can do it if you like.
It was offside.
What, from Joe Yearwood?
Yep, 100%. And do you know
Go on,
what?
then.
Do you know what? I thought, that can't possibly be right. That can't possibly be right. The first ball that's played direct to that player,
Yeah.
he's in a massively offside position, 5-6 yards off.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
At that point, he's off. He's coming towards the ball's coming to him, he's coming towards the ball. Yearwood has to play the ball because of him in the offside position. If he's not in that offside position, Yearwood can control the ball, he can do whatever you want, but he has to play it because of him, because he's running straight up from an offside position towards Yearwood to challenge for the ball. So it's offside. I know it's technical, but for me, there's a strong argument there. And I'm not saying they got it right because of that, because I don't think they did. However, it's all in the same phase of play. And it's a header from their player towards the offside player, who then comes towards the ball to try and collect it, and Yearwood has to play it offside. For me.
I thought it was the nature of Yearwood's touch that was the question.
Well,
yeah,
but he's got to play the ball because of the player.
He's got to, and he's also under pressure.
Yeah.
So
I think technically it was the wrong decision. I understand what you're saying, Mick, because of, but as soon as he takes that touch to pass the ball, it's then a next phase.
Yeah, but he's already offside.
Yeah, but he isn't, because he was nowhere near Yearwood. You can say Yearwood can't let it bounce. He obviously can't let it bounce and go through. But then he could have let it bounce and roll because he's in an offside position. So Yearwood didn't actually have to play it because he was in an offside position.
This is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem with this stupid rule. You know, is he interfering with play? Absolutely, he's interfering with play, in my view. Absolutely.
And they only have a split second at our level.
Yeah,
and I know it's Trevor Kettle's son, but if there was a VAR, they'd have still taken a while to work that one out. I think
possibly
it's a difficult one, and they're generally going to go with the home side, aren't they? Let's face it.
More, yeah. Christopher says, the play was 10 yards away. I think the play was quite far away from Yearwood.
Yeah, 10 yards offside when ball's played to him. That was my argument.
I know what your argument is, but it's definitely not offside for me. Wow. I agree with Steve that the second 5 minutes and probably still came to the real wrong decision.
Well, it was offside because the linesman gave it offside.
Well, there you go, exactly.
That's for me.
Can you explain to me this next phase of play then?
No.
Because it's the same phase. Their player heads it towards their towards their player who's offside. If at that point, then are we now into a different phase?
Well, we are, because he's not on a fence to be in an offside position. It's an offence to be active, disturb the opposite player whilst you're in an offside position. He's 10 yards away from him. He's 10 yards away from him.
I'm not buying that.
That's not interfering, is it? He's miles away from him.
All right. I'm not buying that.
If it's the other way around, you'd be. If it's the other way around, you'll be. Anyway, I suppose the question is, Scott, did it really matter? Because it weren't. Was it a penalty? Would it have been a penalty for you? It would have been very soft for me.
No, I mean if we're at offside, I thought it were onside, but I don't know the rule. In live play, I was thinking that's a mess up, and we've got away with that. But for it weren't a penalty, not for me anyway. I've seen it a few times, and I mean Baptiste puts his hands on him, but it's a contact. It didn't push him enough for him to go down. For me, it was definitely not a penalty.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. So I think it's basically irrelevant, isn't it? Because nothing happened anyway. If he'd have buried it, then I can understand a bit more frustration from Plymouth fans. But it wouldn't have been a penalty anyway. Then in the 90-something minute, Steve, all our hearts collectively sank for a split second. The moment that when you're second bottom of the league, you always think that sucker punch is. I even said to the guy who sits next to us, this game's got sucker punch written all over it. And I thought he'd done it. I thought they'd screwed us over. But the liner once again helped us out, and it was given rightly offside. But it was a heart-sinking moment, weren't it, for a half second?
I'm sure mentioned it, didn't he? It's just apparently he says I was begging him, put your flag up. Looking at it as well, I mean, that Caleb Watts he was offside and he was floating around before the ball even came across. So I've not seen a sideways on, but he was pretty in front of our players at one point, and he came back a bit, and then he went back in front again. So he put his flag up. So I don't care really, but by God, I nearly lost a few pounds.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Oh, what a relief when he stuck his flag up. If I'd have been there, I would have run down the touchline and given him a big fat kiss, frankly.
Yeah, I'm with Nick. I thought that it was a goal at the time, but watching that, definitely offside. It was one of those that we trust our instincts often as football fans, which is a stupid thing to do, because my instinct was that I'm miles onside, and it was just not. It was absolutely not. But again, that feeds into, like, we can then use narrative. We've seen the game out really comfortably, but it's comfortably offside, so it's not even a chance we half need to talk about. They never really had anything. We're going to talk about Ted Cannon in a minute, but he had realistically not much to do in terms of shot stopping. It was a really professional performance we put in yesterday. Really professional.
Yeah, it was. When he made the substitutions, I certainly had my head in my hands because I just thought, that's it. I genuinely thought, and listen, I'm not saying, he's brought Lenny Agbear on, who had a fantastic game, who is a fantastic player. We know he is. So it's not like because of the players that he brought on. Maybe it's because we've talked so much on here about 5-3-2 that I just assumed that meant we were going to lose because of the way we've talked about it. But we were comfortable. We had to absorb from pressure, but as has been pointed out to me again by my wife, he probably needed to have 5 at back because they were playing 7 up front. So, they changed their formation, the way that they were attacking, the way that they were coming forward. 4 at the back probably weren't enough. We probably should have done with 6, So, as it turned out, it was the right decision, and it was fine. It was fine. But I did fret a little bit at one point.
You weren't on your own.
No.
But it's, again, that's a bit of a monkey off the back, isn't it? He's changed the 5 at back. He's done it, and then it worked fine. So that's something we can forget about next time. I still think it was for too long. I still think it was for 5 minutes too long. But at the end of the day, it worked. So it doesn't really matter what I think, does it? Sean Kane says, if we keep Gore fit in a number 10 role with support of Williams and Yearwood, it creates great channels for Nombe and Gray. Paul Rhodes says, Nombe and Williams had handbags at 20 paces at second half. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else saw that. Yeah, they were having a right little old ding-dong, Nombe and Williams. That was quite interesting to watch.
Excellent.
But it means
it means dug each other out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Let's go. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Fine.
Scott, Drew Yearwood, somebody who has not had as much game time as some of us think. We got our man of the match, mixing our match. I think most people's man of the match was Drew Yearwood yesterday. That was the performance that we've been waiting for from him, and that's got to be kind of his benchmark. It was the best player on the pitch for both sides.
Yeah, it was my man of the match as well by somewhere. Yeah, I think that's what quite a lot of people have seen in little glimpses. It just, it seems to be that when he started matches, the team as a whole's, for whatever reasons, not performed in the first half, and Amshaw's felt he's had to make a change, and Yearwood's sent like the easy option, or he's always the fall guy that's come off. But yesterday I thought, apart from that one touch, but it was really good, weren't it? I mean, he could kind of do everything. He's not as technically good as Benson, but he covers the ground. He gets stuck in. He gives it. He normally plays just a simple pass to somebody else. Keeps it kind of ticking along. He's always showing for ball as well, which is really good. No, I think he was man of match and definitely going to be keeping his place. I can't see at the minute. I think we need somebody like that in the position we're in. Who's going to get stuck in and roll the sleeves up. And I think he set the standard really. I think going forward now.
Yeah, he did. And we've missed when Dan Gore's not playing, you miss him, Steve. But that was as close to Dan Gore performance as you're going to get from Yearwood. He doesn't look after the ball as well, although he's not bad at it. But it was what we needed. He does that drop in, but he also is really able to get up the pitch. He links up well with Benson and the fullbacks yesterday. It was a real statement performance from Yearwood, I think.
Yeah, I think he carried the ball a lot more yesterday.
Yeah.
Which I noticed. I mean, he's been good whenever he's played at breaking things up a little bit. But yesterday, he either found the space himself or Plymouth were lax and didn't close him down. But he carried the ball a lot, hell of a lot. And yeah, he filled in. And then when Gore came, I mean, seeing Gore come back on as well, you think, crikey, we have got some options now. Yeah. And Gore was excellent. But Yearwood, I've not been a great fan of Yearwood. I mean, I know Mick likes him a lot, but I understood why yesterday. So kudos to him. Let's keep this going because we haven't got what's his name, Spence, have we? Pretty much for
a while.
A lot of the season that remains. So we're going to need Drury Yearwood. You know, and if we can keep Gore fit, McWilliams fit, because he looked like he'd woken up yesterday as well.
Absolutely.
So it's quite extraordinary. We just need to keep this going.
Yeah, we do. You'll make this is the justification episode for Mick for shouting out Joe Yearwood all season. We've seen it in spells, but this was the most prolonged period of that kind of performance from Yearwood, wasn't it, yesterday?
Is it the first 90 minutes of the season?
Oh, can't be far off, can it? I'll see if we can find out.
Probably.
He seems to be like Scott said there. He seems to be a sacrificial lamb every time there's a substitution made at half time. Which I don't know how much Matt Amshaw likes him as a player, but because he has kept him out of the game quite a lot. But I like him a lot. I've said it obviously. I've said it many times, and yesterday for me justifies that. He's not got the quality of Benson. He's not got the, like Steve said, the ability to hold on to the ball and run with the ball that Dan Gore has. But he's like a bit of a combo of the pair of them, and with a bit of Spence thrown in there as well, and a bit of Ollie Rathbone. You know, he's like a bit of a combo of all of them. And I don't know. Somebody's mentioned it in the comments there. He does the dirty work, does it really well. But he's not short of a bit of pace. He's not short of a bit of skill, and he can find a pass as well. Great game yesterday, and definitely for me, head and shoulders man at match.
Yeah, I agree. Third 90 minutes in the league. He played the full game away at Donny and away at Stockport. First home league 90 minutes. Scott Kent does a lot of the work people don't notice, like I would add maybe Smallwood into that as well. A lot of the dirty work, a lot of the running. That's a good comparison. That
one for the older ones amongst us. Anybody remember Jimmy Goodfellow?
God, yes.
He was another one who wasn't overtly popular, but he did an immense amount of work. This is in the olden days, of course, when we used to play with Casey balls and all that kind of nonsense.
When everything was black and white.
It were black and white, yeah. So, you know, but you only noticed him when he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
So,
I think
one for the older listeners, viewers.
Yeah. Fair enough. Dave Lotton wants to shout out for his dear mate Dave Kelly, the Clevedon Miller. He's in Bristol now. Hello, everybody. Hello, guys.
Hiya, Dave.
We're on Dan Gore, so let's just talk about the punch, the attempted punch. Ref didn't see it. Do we care enough to talk about it?
Well, I didn't see it until this evening, and
I didn't either.
Okay, if the ref had seen it, Watts would have been off.
Yeah,
but it didn't make any difference, did it? Did it?
No, I think so.
What were you going to say?
Knowing what Dan Gore, well, the impression I get of Dan Gore, it probably deserved it. But I can imagine he's been in his ear and he's saying some stuff. But yeah, I mean, if ref sees it, it's a red card. I'm sure whatever he's called is probably going to get some retrospective action. But yeah, it didn't affect anything, did it?
No, it'd be a very, very lucky boy not to get a retrospective ban with that. Very, very lucky boy. Because he half connects with it, doesn't he? He half catches him, which is part of it. But yeah, he didn't have a great game, Mr. Kettle's son. Murray Miller says, nice tribute to the mighty Quinn at the game as well, half-time and post-match as well. Yeah, absolutely. Harry says, into Cardiff fans wanting punishment from Williams a few weeks ago. It does feel a bit of the same. I did think that when I went to tweet, I thought, what about Cardiff for the week? I just went anyway. Yeah, really good. Let's talk about Ted Can, though, Scott. They had shots. I think they had 3 or 4 shots on target in the end, which I was surprised. I don't remember having too much to do. But, and I'm surprised I'm going to say this, he fills me with much more confidence than Cam Dawson does. And it's weird because his handling's okay, not brilliant, it's okay. But I don't know, there just seems a bit more calmness. Dawson's frantic, everything's rushed and he's trying to get involved. I want to be involved. Where Ted Can, he just seems calmer.
Yeah, his demeanour's a lot more relaxed, isn't it? And I'm not sure if that... Like I say, it's a bit... With Dawson's experience, it seems stupid to say that compared to Cam, who's... I don't know how many senior games has played.
They were about 7 for Forest Green before us.
Yeah, I mean...
I think so.
I don't think he had a great deal to do, did he? But his kicking's a lot better. Like, I'm a lot more confident with his kicking, and when he gets the ball, I think he's always looking to do either like an half volley or roll it out. He's trying to get the play going quickly, and I feel like he's capable of it more than Dawson, because I don't think Dawson's, goalkeeper should be better with their hands anyway, but the way football is, I don't think Dawson's very good with his feet. He did have that in-swinging corner in first half, which I think he dealt with really well. They swung it straight in under bar, and he punched that away. But yeah, other than that, I can't... Oh yeah, they were shot in second half, weren't they, early, which bobbled just in front of him. He saved it and got straight back on it, but I think he knew he had that space to kind of pat that down and get it. So no, I think it's his shirt to lose now. I can't see Dawson getting back in at minute if he keeps up the way he is.
Yeah, I agree. Scott Cantor commands his box a lot better than Cam Dawson does. I think it's easier to forgive these mistakes as well, because he's going to make mistakes. He's going to cost us a goal, I bet you, between now and the end of the season. And that's fine. It's going to happen, especially with goalkeepers, especially with young, inexperienced goalkeepers. Victor did it a couple of times as well. Look at the guy, the keeper he's gone on to be. And I think that maybe feeds into it a lot, though. We can forgive this guy because he's youngish and inexperienced, whereas when Cam Dawson makes mistakes, well, he should know better, shouldn't he? Because he's experienced everything else that comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Dawson's a bit of a hothead, isn't he? Yeah. He comes across as a bit of a hothead, which is not a problem. That's just that just appears to be his personality. One of the things about Ted Can is he kind of holds himself, and his mannerisms are very Victor-esque. He's a similar sort of size, and he just the way he carries himself is very similar. If you could make half the goalkeeper a Victor as well, that'd be a rate bonus, wouldn't it? But,
not too much pressure on you, lad.
Yeah, but Mike's put it in the comments. He's not had a great deal to do in either game so far, so it's difficult to judge. But he's a young lad. He's another young lad. So I'm with you. He's going to make some mistakes, but he's also mouldable.
Yeah.
With the greatest respect to Cam Dawson, he's a lot further on in his career. He's for the goalkeeping coaches, he's going to be a lot more difficult to work with or mould or coach essentially because of his experience. So
he's taller. He looks taller than Dawson, doesn't he?
I think he might be.
Powell said yesterday. He said, You try not to stand next to him.
Fair enough. Murray Miller says, if anyone can, Ted can, which I like very much.
Yeah.
He's going to give us some fun with a name like that. Tom Swift are playing for the rest of the season to see if he's worth a shout for next season. He's no worse than Dawson. I think that goes winning a relegation battle, Stephen. I thought it was interesting for Hampshire to throw him in on Tuesday. Bearing in mind the situation in the league, you generally go for the experienced guy when you're in the situation we are. So I suppose it was brave to see him do that to throw him in, but he's now in a situation where you can't go back, and unless he does make a couple of absolute clangers, you can't. Well, you have to stick with him. He's earned the right to keep the shirt, certainly for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, something had to change, didn't it? And he changed his goalkeeper. I mean, other managers do the same thing. They change their goalkeeper if they're having a bit of a struggle. And of course, Dawson made that horrific wreck against Doncaster. So yeah, brave, but something that I kind of wasn't that surprised when the team came out against Bradford that he'd swapped his goalkeeper. And yeah, admittedly, he's not had a fat lot to do in the last couple of games. And I do agree that at some stage, he'll make a mistake. And it depends, I think, on the game situation as to whether he punishes him with the removal of the gloves. Because I do probably expect Dawson to come back at some stage because he's the senior pro. But I'd be absolutely delighted if Can does so well that we don't see Mr. Dawson at all this season. But yeah, so far so good. Young lad, big tall unit. Don't stand next to him. Let's see him make a few saves. But yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it was good. I'm enjoying watching the Goalkeeper come through. Right, football I said earlier. What are your guys' thoughts on Nombe after the window? Something is missing. Not his usual self-chasing the ball. This is another one, Mick, where me and you came back and your wife basically told us both off for criticising Nombe. And again, I don't think it was bad. He nearly scored. But I agree with what football. There was just something missing from his game yesterday, and I don't know what it was. I can't put my finger on it throughout the entire 90 minutes yesterday. And he was good. He impacted the game reasonably well. Him and Gray linked up pretty well. But there was something missing for me from Nombe yesterday.
It felt like it, didn't it? Yeah. There were a couple of occasions where you felt he could have got to a ball and didn't really make the effort. That's probably wrong because other times he made more than enough effort. So maybe just an off day. It wasn't even an off day, was it? Let's be fair.
Not really.
By his standards, an off day perhaps. I don't see anything wrong at all. I mean, he was absolutely out on his feet at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So he clearly put the work in. So I don't think there's ought to concern himself with really. Personally.
And his hamstrings stood up to it.
Yeah.
Touch wood. I thought he worked really hard. Yeah, I mean he could have had that goal from that little turn around the corner that Watmore gave him, and he did ever so well. And the keeper just managed to save it. Probably he might have lifted it a bit, but yeah, his accuracy yesterday was a little bit off. You know, he took the wrong decision sometimes, but I didn't have a problem with his energy or his work rate at all. As you say, he was on his backside. That scorer of goals that he has.
Yeah, agreed. Steve says that was Martha's best game for a while. Not hard, and not Yearwood standards, but better. Yeah, I think that again, incremental gains. Scott, I think is one of the phrases used in football. That was better from Martha. He didn't create anything particular, but it was much more effective than it has been, which again is not hard. But it's a little bit in the step in the right direction from Martha. He was a threat at times for them, and there were times they didn't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, he's really suffered in the last couple of months, aren't he? He's not looked anything like he did kind of at the beginning. But yeah, it were better yesterday. I think he was a bit braver. There were a few like 50-50 headers that he won. I think he just needs at minute just really simplified instructions, and I just say to him every time you get ball, just run at them. Because a lot of times he stops and checks back inside, and I think one thing we're missing since we've lost like Chio is somebody to just run and just stretch game out for us. And I think he did that, like you say. He did one run down in second half, put it in. I think keeper stops it at front post. he got the lad booked, didn't he? And at one bit when that had a good break, they had to take him down cynically. And that's all I'd want to see from him, to be honest, for now. Just really simple, just run at your man, because nobody wants somebody to run at. And I think he's quite fast, but you don't really see it a lot of times, because he does seem to get the ball and just check back inside. Yeah. But yeah, I think definitely a step in the right direction.
I agree. Chio was there yesterday. If I were Matt, I'm sure I'd be asking Chio to have a quick chat with him, because he's got so many attributes that Chio had when he first came. Chio grew into his frame, I think, a lot better over the last 2 years of his time with us. But there is some Chio in Martha, so I'd like to see him do a bit more. Like I said, just keeping it simple. Chio never did out too clever, did he? He just kept it simple. He did the simple things really, really well. When you're a winger, it's a relatively easy thing to do. If you know what you've got to do, it can be relatively easy. That's what Martha needs to start doing a little bit. I agree with Scott completely on that one. Any other performers anybody wants to mention before we have a quick chat about Mansfield?
I'm quite pleased to see Jamal Baptiste back to himself. The last couple of games, he's been a little bit out of sorts. But yesterday, I thought he was back to himself. I don't think he missed a header all game. Yeah. And good to see Lenny come back. He's had a couple of cameos where he's looked a little bit nervous, but he slotted into that centre of a back three yesterday and looked like he'd played there all season.
It's weird, isn't it? We haven't really seen him since September. He came back for a couple of games.
Yeah,
that game that him and Baptiste, I can't even remember what the game, Bradford was it, and we've hardly seen him. And you think what quality he's got, because the first few games we were well impressed with him.
Yeah,
and we've got and Denzel's not there, But Martha, just a word on Martha. He had a smile on his face yesterday. He actually looked as though he was enjoying himself. So I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether he's had long chats with the manager or whatever, but I agree. Chio needs to be his coach. Chio had a bit more pace than him, I think. So it was a bit easier for Chio to get by people. And that's what I think he probably needs to work on a bit. And he needs to find another few inches of pace.
I feel with Martha, I have no evidence for this at all, but it seems to me it's a mental thing. Whether he shies out of challenges and stuff like that, and maybe a lack of aggression. I don't know, but I think if mentally they can get him in the right place, he's got huge potential. Yeah, it's just getting him to bring it out and pitch.
Bring it out,
yeah.
He's still young as well. We talk about Chio. Chio was in mid-20s by the time he came to us. Chio came to us quite late on. Martha's only 22. I think he's 22 now since we signed him. So there is quite a bit of age difference in when they started with us, which is probably a key thing. When you're in mid-20s, you're more susceptible probably to those ideas. But let's see what happens to him. Let's see what happens to him, to Martha.
Yeah.
Right, we're just on the Mansfield game. First of all, make sure you've subscribed if you haven't done so already, and give the video a like if you haven't done so already as well. We appreciate you being with us for these episodes. Adam says, quick question. What question is now, was Saturday another flash in the pan, or can we kick on from here and stay in League One? Still crazy that not long ago we're stuck in a 10-game run beating together. It's about backing these up, Scott. It's about backing these up with not necessarily, we all want to win. But you've got to back it with a performance as well as that. If we pick up a draw against Mansfield, it's a really solid performance and another step forward. I think most of us will take it because it's unlikely the situation is going to get worse or massively worse in terms of points. But we've got to back it up. We've got to keep this performance level up, because if we perform like that, we'll probably win anyway. But the performance levels have got to stop because they haven't been there before, have they?
Yeah. This is our game in hand, isn't it? So,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was only on a couple of weeks ago and saying that the run that we've got is really bad. And, looking at the league position, it does look bad. So I kind of think we still... I mean, we need a point at least. If we get a point and the performance is there, I think we can get away with that. What we don't want, whoever said about it being a flash in the pan, if we go back, and we lose and it's really negative and we never look like scoring. Then that's kind of how this has felt a bit. Bar the 10-game spell, it's kind of we have one good result and then it's 3 or 4 bad. But time's running out now. This is and touch wood. I know we had the Norwich lad. Well, he's our player, isn't he? Whatever he's called that we signed from Norwich.
Manning.
Adebega, yeah.
The squad's looking a bit better, like with the goal back, McWilliams back, Powell's not far, shouldn't be far back. Yeah, I think. But I mean, I thought Mansfield were a good team, but I've looked at league table, and if we beat them, we're 3 points off them.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know what their form's been like, but I'm guessing it's not been very good.
Yesterday was their first win, I think, in 7 in the league. But they have been pumping Sheffield United and whoever else in the cup.
They've got Arsenal, aren't they, at weekend?
Arsenal on Saturday, so you've got to think their minds will be elsewhere. They'll be nobody will want to get injured or sent off, will they, on Tuesday?
Yeah.
So I think that they are a very, very streaky team. Nigel Clough's teams have always been very streaky. They're either great for 10 games or they're rubbish for 10 games. So it just depends on what spell you kind of meet them in. We've generally been very good at getting people on runs, I suppose. But it's a relegation fight, Stephen. So every point's vital. We were sitting fight at one point yesterday. We were 6 points because how results performed. We were 6 points adrift. Ended up being 3. If you can put 2 wins together, 3 wins together, go unbeaten in 5 games, you'll find yourself out of that drop zone very, very quickly. And it'll turn the mood on. If we win on Tuesday, the mood around the club will just turn completely, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at what Wigan have just done. They've just won 2 back-to-back matches and they're on 37 points now.
Yeah.
So if we string another 2 wins together, what are we on, 34 now or something?
Yeah, 34, I think, yeah.
We'll be on 40 points. But that's the problem, is that there's so many so-so sides down in the bottom half of our league that, everybody's going to drop points. Everybody's going to win games that they're not expected to. So we've just got to, as the guy said, we've got to try and make sure this is not a flash in the pan. So we need a performance on Tuesday night. And I agree. If we get a performance and we don't lose the game, that will be another step forward. But yeah, must win. Every game's a must win, I'm afraid. It's just, we have to win the games because we've lost too many over the last 2 months. It's just been not good. But hopefully we've now got, if Gore can stay fit, primarily, I mean, that guy is a heartbeat of our side.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. By the way, the Mansfield drew yesterday. They didn't manage to beat Wimbledon, so they still haven't won in 7 or 8 games.
They didn't win. They didn't beat them. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's if they are streaky, which I think they are. I think we're probably still playing at what hopefully should be the right time. But again, we've all seen football long enough to be the team that turns somebody else's results around. Scott Alden was the referee against Mansfield. We have had him before, but the question then becomes make changes. We'll run through this very, very quickly because I don't know where we're doing an hour and 3 minutes already. But Dan Gore is back, and you would expect him to be available to play 90 minutes because the injury was a shoulder injury. I don't think there's a massive fitness issue. But Yearwood was brilliant. Benson was brilliant. How do you fit all that? They're really good headaches. I mean, Williams was really good as well when he came on, and he does seem to like Williams as well. Once you've taken yourself off mute, what would you do in terms of the setup, in terms of players that are going to come in on Tuesday?
Don't know.
Okay, good problem, isn't it? It's a really good problem.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have. So you can't drop Drew Yearwood. You can't really drop Josh Benson unless he's carrying a knock. He were limping a little bit when it went at the end of the game, but Martha played all right. Where do you drop Martha and bring Dan Gore in, but then it creates a problem with width. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. But it's great to have these options. You're absolutely right. We know that within the squad there are some quality footballers. And if the whole squad was fit, we'd have some great options to choose from. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Manny's now back on the treatment table, but Lenny's back, and that's not a bad swap by anybody's stretch.
Jules took his place, didn't he? So Jules is available.
Jules was fit as well. So, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how he sets it up. It's good problem to have.
I suspect he'll keep. I think he'll start with what he started. Or start with on Saturday, apart from Manny, who's not available. That's the conundrum, isn't it? Because I've seen it too many times where you play really well on Saturday, starts the same team on Tuesday, and it's all a bit rubbish. So I don't know. I am actually quite nervous about Tuesday because I so want it to be a continuation of what we had on Saturday. Because I don't want to go back to how I felt after the Bradford game. I really don't.
No, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised by the way to see Watmore drop out. Just again, fitness wise, we've got another game on Saturday, so then we've got. I think we've got a week off after that. So it might be go in for Watmore and then just shuffle things around that way. But if Watmore starts, that's not a bad thing, is it? So I think again, it's a good thing to have. Right, we're going to predictions, but first of all, we got the headline competition. I brought it back because I was feeling positive. So headline competition. Kev has gone for Captain Raff sinks the Pilgrims. Ian has gone for a hop, a skip, and a Raff brings a much needed win. Hammy out of hot water as Kettle has Pilgrims steaming, which I quite like. That's a good one. Yeah. Chris says, "Can we stop up?" Martin goes with Pilgrims progress halted. Paula goes with Rafferty winner makes it a Pilgrim away day for Plymouth. And Richard just goes with the Great Escape. Which is
bit premature that.
Bit early, Richard.
Might be a bit premature that.
Do that, yeah.
And with the Kettle hot water.
Yeah. I think they're all really good actually today.
Yeah,
really good.
I'd go the Kettle.
Excellent, like it. Prediction time. Chris says we're going to win 3-1. Risha Rosa says 2-1 to us as well. Mick, did you pick up any more points?
I picked a point.
Did. You picked up another point.
A point. I should have took 3. I should have took all 3.
You should.
Answered it for Gray and Go. Two little kids spoiling my Saturday afternoon.
We didn't talk about Go Rating Post, did we? We haven't talked about
that. No. I'll listen. I was positive on Thursday night for Saturday. I'm going to stay positive, and I'm going to go. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
Building up the suspense.
I'm going to go 3-0. 3-0 Millers again. Come on, we're going to get one.
Back-to-back clean sheets.
Back-to-back clean sheets. But this time we're going to take our chances.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Scott, what do you reckon, mate?
I'm going to change because I've been predicting us to lose lately a lot, unsurprisingly, but I'm going to go 2-0 to us.
2-0. So that's how you do it, Nick. Straight to the point. No bump, no coughing through predictions. Straight to the point. Scott's showing how it's done. Steve, what do you reckon?
I'm going for the sitting on the fence, splinters up the bottom.
Okay.
I'm going 1-1.
I was going to go 1-1 as well. I am still going to go 1-1. I agree. I think it's going to be.
I went 2-2 yesterday and completely got it wrong. So
I think we'll play well, but not back it with a win. Is where I go for. We'll see. Scott goes for 2-2. Paula Rose 3-1. Nick says shout out to Warnock for taking over Torquay at 77. He'll never retire, bless him. Andy P 3-1 to the Millers. Steve Gwynner 2-1. Brian Burns says 2-0. Power says 2-0 Mansfield, back to reality. Nick says we'll win, as does Damon Carwood. Steve Gwynner 2-1 to the Miller men. We are done. Thank you all for being with us today. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. I don't know if I mentioned this at the start. We've been sent in a song to play by a Millers fan called Phil. Has sent us in a song that we're going to play you out with. So you can listen. It's a Rotherham theme song. Rotherham United theme song. What more do you want? So yeah, there we go.
Well, just
Thank
before
you.
we go, while we're talking about septuagenarian managers, did you see Celtic's, what's his name, Martin O'Neill, separating fighting players at the age of 74?
I did. Loved it.
Good.
I really loved it. Very good stuff. Do like Martin O'Neill. He's good value.
He's such a character, that man.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Who's this film, mate?
He's a Rotherham fan.
All right, fine enough.
We were back on Tuesday, which will be the instant reaction. We'll probably do a scouting report for the Huddersfield game. It's been difficult with not knowing the schedule of managers being here or not on emergency podcast, potentially needing plans. It's been very difficult to plan over the last couple of weeks, which is one of the reasons we haven't done an emergency podcast. But instant reaction, sorry. No, move on. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everybody, and Steve and Scott and Mick and me. We'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching, and as always, up the Millers.
Up the Millers.